Have you seen this? Are you familiar with the works of Giant Balloon Parades, Inc.?
Welcome to Have You Seen This?
The world's only podcast about obscure, overlooked, and misbegotten media.
All discussions will be spoiler heavy.
You have been warned.
This show would not be possible without the support of our patrons. If you would like to support our show, join us at patreon.com/haveyouseenthis. Patrons get the show a week early, and $5 supporters also get access to our Discord. Or you can tip us at our Ko-fi. Visit the link in the show notes.
Yeah, to me they'll always be GPP.
I'm down with GPP.
It's the stamp of quality.
I should introduce our guest, because he is why we are talking about giant balloon parades.
We would not talk about this of our own volition.
It rolls off the tongue.
I don't know, honestly, this is the kind of utter garbage that I can unaccountably talk about all day. So will you all give a hearty welcome to author and Riff Tracks writer Sean Thomason. Sean, welcome back to the show.
Hey, I'm very happy to be here. I am a giant balloon, so it's perfect. I'm the right guest for this topic. I'm sort of wobbling back and forth slightly right now with my arms sticking out. My torso is a giant round sphere that's been painted. I'm on a shoddy cart being pulled by clowns on strings, and it's just good to be alive.
Let me just reframe you so the edge of the set is showing.
Just part of it, just a tiny corner.
Sean is a celebrity to so many fetishists, by the way.
Yeah.
They love his roundness. You ain't seen a guy this round since fucking Kirby, am I right?
I'm smooth, I'm squeaky, which a lot of people are into.
Yeah, this is peak
there's a lot of
form.
squeakers out there, and I'm big in that community as well.
Bitter Corella is currently listening, hand to chin, with a very serious expression.
And buoyant.
Sean, do you want to tell the nice folks what we're talking about tonight?
Yes, maybe we should let people in instead of me doing weird sideways bits about stuff we haven't discussed yet. So your heroic hosts asked me about weird media I'd like to talk about, and one of my favorite pieces of weird media is Fun in Balloon Land. There are not many canonical Thanksgiving films out there that everybody watches with their families. There's Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. And then I think just Fun in Balloon Land. I think those are the only two.
The alpha and omega, yeah. What else can you say?
And this one's definitely not the alpha.
No.
Fun in Balloon Land is, I like Jen mentioned, I write at Riff Tracks, and we came across Fun in Balloon Land in, I looked, it was 2014, and we're just gobsmacked by it. It's hard to even call it a movie. I don't know if you guys would
Is security camera footage a movie? Our home movies?
Right, there's a movie happening, like you said, slightly out of frame.
Right.
Oh, there's a movie over there. We're not filming it, but it's around here somewhere.
Yeah, the big notion of a movie.
It's a combination of sort of a story piece at the beginning, if you can call it that, of a little boy wandering around a stable full of giant balloons, kind of like the one I was describing myself as, round bodies, protruding cylindrical arms. Unsettling paint jobs. Yeah,
they have kind of the same physique as the Keep on Truckin' guy.
That's perfect. That's exactly it.
Yeah, they all got them thick R-Crumb-esque ankles. Speaking of fetishists.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of fetishes, yeah, Crumb would be all over these guys.
This is going to be our
Look at the haunches on that turkey. Oh my god.
This is going to be our filthiest episode since Dr. Caligari.
Well, that one was well earned too.
Well, yeah, but yeah, this is
a lot happened in that cabin.
Yeah, and this is also some sick shit, to put it mildly, because this is and I know I say this all the time. We've talked about some real bottom barrel trash on this show, but when you say this is barely a movie, this is about as unmovie-like as you can get, because easily 60 to 70% of it is made up of what you would expect to see in someone's home movie collection, because a big chunk of it is a Gimbel's Thanksgiving parade in I think Philadelphia.
Yeah, Philadelphia.
Right.
1965.
Yeah, big year for Thanksgiving parades and
For balloon parades.
giant balloons. And of course,
It was really the apex.
Right. It was like the British invasion, kind of. Like, everybody
was talking about balloons.
people just went ape
Right.
shit for giant balloons.
Latex.
Balloons were in the air.
Oh, God.
See? And at a spry 52 minutes, this is by far the longest movie that we have watched.
It is punishing.
It truly is.
Now, of course, we can't avoid the riff tracks connection here because, Sean, as you said, you discovered this through riff tracks. You had the privilege of writing jokes for the riff to go over this movie. So, of course, I've seen the riff tracks version many times. On Monday, I attempted to raw dog this film because it is available on YouTube. And this, I believe, came to us from the people at Something Weird Video initially.
Correct. When we saw it, that was where it came from. Something Weird. When we saw it at
Gotcha.
Riff Tracks. I think they, and you may know more than I do, but I think they must have resurfaced it after it was pretty much unavailable anywhere since 1965.
Yeah, it's got that watermark.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I don't know what dumpster or like moldy basement they dug this out of, but God bless them. Something Weird Video, their catalog was recently transferred to the ownership of, I believe, the American Genre Film Archive. And I discovered that very shortly there will be a Blu-ray release of this movie on
The way it was meant to be seen.
Yes, in a set with several other just unbelievably upsetting children's films. One that you might be familiar with, Sean, is The Princess and the Magic Frog, which was a recent Riff Tracks release.
Yes.
And in fact, I did the cover art for that release, so that was fun to see.
That's right.
But if you go over to Vinegar Syndrome, you can pre-order the Crazy Kids Video Party. That is Krazee, Kids with a Z, Video Party.
The kids started out normal, then they watched the videos and slowly went crazy.
Yeah, like you can't...
That's what they're advertising.
You kind of can't expose children to this kind of material and not expect them to come out a little bit different. And move fast, because...
I would end the sentence after the word material. You can't expose kids to this kind of material. I think this Blu-ray set, which I would like to own, should not be seen by any child. I don't know if you guys remember the Mr. Yuck stickers that they used to put on
Yes.
things. It was like a green frowny face with its tongue sticking out. My parents put one on, the medicine cabinet and on the phone because I wasn't supposed to use it. That should be the poster art for this Blu-ray you're talking about.
Everything you need to say about it.
That's so funny that your parents were basically like, do not call for help because we will know.
Yeah, right.
Don't touch this phone.
Mom's on the ground twitching, but there's a green sticker on the phone. I'd better not touch it.
Not a long distance off-peak call.
She tried to force me to watch Fun in Balloon Land, and then she just had a seizure.
This phone call is costing you 80 cents. That's like 2 hours of minimum wage.
It's 1984. We can't afford that.
Right.
I will definitely link this in the show notes. You can pre-order from Vinegar Syndrome the joint American Genre Film Archive and Something Weird Video release. Crazy Kids Video Party, if you simply must see immaculate copies of Fun in Balloon Land and Princess and the Magic Frog, amongst others.
There's so much detail.
Did they add pixels to make it 4K? How did they upgrade? I'm amazed.
The blurriness comes through with great clarity.
That's really cool. And more power to those guys. Thank God for people like Something Weird. Like you said, I don't know where they find this stuff.
Yeah.
It's probably a somewhat thankless job, but we all benefit from it. Everyone, one of the things I like about working at Riff Tracks is we can kind of help unearth these bizarre things and get them out to people. And maybe this is a little more palatable a form than raw dogging it, like you did, like you said, Jeff.
It's
100%.
Speaking of, Yeah, because Jen and I had both, raw dogged this movie,
tried.
and I have to ask. Yeah, I mean, I of course fast forward through a lot of it, but I it seems like those must have been long days riffing on this because this is such an interminable movie.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like depending on which section you're working on, it's a completely different thing. Is it the kid wandering around the warehouse? Is it the parade narrator? And there's parts where she's not even talking.
Yeah, it's like a black hole of attention.
It is.
So just like,
but it is one of those. I remember, and Santa and the Ice Cream Bunny, I feel like will probably come up as we continue to talk. But screening this, I was when the first time we screened this, and I was also there the first time we screened Santa and the Ice Cream Bunny. Oof. And they are two of the most memorable screening experiences I've ever had in all my years at Riff Tracks. And I had not connected them as strongly in my mind until preparing for this, and there are a lot of connections beyond that. So they definitely rung the same bell watching them, the same disturbed mental bell. Like, are we really going to spend a lot of time with this? I think we have to spend a lot of time with this.
There's so much to unpack.
Yeah,
and I know like Jen has an overarching term for it, but what it seems like to me is sort of tourist trap gothic. It's back when like everyone had like some kind of roadside attraction, some kind of like ramshackle theme park. Like, this will do. Like, we don't really know what we're doing, but we'll have a go of it. Maybe this will be entertaining.
It worked for Disney. I'm sure we can replicate that.
Right? Yeah, easy as.
Yeah, and you guys are very cunning, like all the delightful little animals in the balloon parade. Very cunningly.
Oh yeah, that's right. That is one of the adjectives she used.
Yeah, and we'll talk about crazy drunk narrator lady, but you guys are bringing us around to, as Tim described, my kind of overarching vision for Fun in Balloon Land and some other similar films. Sean, you mentioned Santa and the Ice Cream Bunny, which is a notorious piece of children's entertainment that might even be reaching the echelons of things like The Room or Manos, the Hands of Fate in terms of its notoriety. And I group films like Santa and the Ice Cream Bunny and Fun in Balloon Land into a genre that I have dubbed Mahancore, after Barry Mahan, the producer, director, mastermind of stuff like Santa and the Ice Cream Bunny. I came up with the term when I was working on the art for The Princess and the Magic Frog for Riff Tracks, because it's a very small...
Because your mind is just going to wander.
Right, and Jesus Christ, like that... God, Princess and the Magic Frog was a tough one too. I watched a lot of it with the sound off, if I'm being honest. Just trying to get the characters down. But these movies have kind of the same overarching feel. And I do want to throw it out to you guys to kind of... I think Tim has already done a little bit of work with his, what was it, Fairy Tale Land Roadside Attraction Gothic or something similar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sort of tourist trap gothic.
Yeah, and I kind of wrote down some characteristics of these films, and these were all things that I discovered through Riff Tracks. I mentioned, of course, I think like the granddaddy of them all, even though it came out in 1972, I think it really exemplifies the genre perfectly, Santa and the Ice Cream Bunny.
Form.
But there are some other films that slot into that genre. Fun in Balloon Land, a somewhat early example in having come out in 1965. There are also the Christmas shorts from producer K. Gordon Murray. These were riffed as over at Riff Tracks as under the title Santa's Village of Madness, a trio of films that very much fit that title. There is also The Magic Christmas Tree. There is The Princess and the Magic Frog, which I mentioned earlier. And a personal favorite of mine, The Wonderful Land of Oz, also directed by Barry Mahan.
The funny thing about those two is that a lot of those you can also find like raw on Tubi. Like I watched all of, Santa's Christmas Circus with the Wizard the Clown, Santa's Enchanted Village.
Oh my God, I forgot about Wizzo.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
They could be enjoyed in their purest form.
Shit, that's a really good
Oh,
point.
now I got that to worry about. Wizzo the anxiety-inducing clown, just with the wretched feet. Oh my god.
Wizzo is the clown embodiment of OCD.
The other thing about Santa's Enchanted Village, and that's the one, with the famous, Santa characters like the skunk and the angry wolf. I didn't realize that in the unextricated version, there's a
Tits.
preamble that is 5 minutes of Ronald McDonald showing you how to make a paper hat. Little I don't know, director's cut.
Wow, I haven't seen that
Was
version.
it the Willard Scott era Ronald McDonald?
There's some regional Ronald McDonald.
Where he just had a box on his head. I don't know if Willard Scott was doing it.
Back to another clown-based world of whimsy and magic and all that fucking
Let's
garbage.
not go crazy.
So I would like to talk about the genre of mancore, but first of all, fun in Balloon Land.
And to get the real fun in Balloon Land experience, should I actually be recording like this? Does the audience sound more authentic?
I think that's good, Tim. I think that. Is that Puss in Boots? I think I see Puss in Boots. You can't quite see Puss in Boots, but just trust me, Puss in Boots is just out of frame.
Oh, I can see him. Puss in Boots. He's over there, and he's bringing me more vodka.
Already, I'm having fun.
Yay!
Yeah.
We forgot to bring some children to shriek at glass-shattering pitches, but whatever.
Right, yeah. Yeah, so we got a lot to get through. It is action-packed, this fun in Balloon Land.
Yeah, there's a lot of, like you said, home movie parade footage and the narrator, and it's just the camera's just zooming in on random children who are looking sad.
The one kid who's always got his mouth open, is he just in the middle of the biggest yawn? I mean,
yes,
he's at a parade, so
that's literally what it looks like.
Yeah, so he's bored.
Right,
but then I think the narrator tries to impose. Oh, look, he's yelling. He's saying hi. No, he's not saying hi. This child has been here since 6 a.m. and this is the worst parade anyone's ever seen.
Mommy, why did we line up early for this? I hate this.
Does anyone really like parades? I've been forced to go to so many parades. I think that's part of why this movie is so funny to me, is it captures the dismal experience of going to a parade.
It really does.
It's something that can't be entertaining for more than 20 minutes, but somehow manages to last 5 hours.
And it takes so much effort to go and so much planning to make it happen. I don't know.
And the end result is we're getting to watch people walk by set to music.
Yeah, very slowly. Yeah. Oh, they got to stop. They got to stop for a minute because some old guy's car broke down. He insisted on bringing his old car. Okay, we can't get the car started. Just a few minutes, kids. And then this boring crap will continue to roll by.
There's no narrative. Is it going anywhere? No, it just keeps coming.
You'll see Santa at the end. It'll be anticlimactic, and then you'll go home.
I do like that, how thorough the movie is in that, when they get to the end, they do show, the vacant street after the parade is finished, and there's a street sweeper cleaning up debris. Magic.
That's when it achieves the art status. Yeah,
right. Yeah.
When you see that street sweeper at
that
the end.
shot represents the emptiness in one's soul after having watched the entirety of Fun in Balloon Land. I said, I tried raw dogging this a few days ago, and as I told Tim, there was a point where I realized I had stopped paying attention, and I literally couldn't pinpoint the moment when my attention just slid away from the film. And I was like, wait, I'm looking at my phone instead of the screen. When did that happen? It could have been 10 minutes ago. It could have been 5 minutes, 45 minutes ago. I don't know.
That was some sort of biological self-preservation instinct kicked in. It was you must look away from this.
And they really did.
That's the genuine parade experience.
In the manner of extremely amateur filmmakers, they obviously used every frame that was shot that day in that gloomy day in Philadelphia, because it looks like it's just a really kind of depressing, cold looking winter day.
Yeah, it's an early winter day.
Yeah.
That too. Also, speaking of it being just a sad, funerary procession, there's a song about how we're all having fun in Balloon Land, we're having a great time in Balloon Land, but then when they get into detail, they describe how miserable all of the animals are. Like the turkey is sighing, like the mouse is tired, and like his arches have fallen, and like the walrus is crying. It's like, what is your definition of fun exactly?
Right. These are not happy tales.
No, no.
It's the Baton Death March of parades.
Having
Yeah.
a miserable time in balloon land.
The balloons all seem like they want to be deflated. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, Jen, like you said, they used every frame and they used some of them twice because at the end there's that guessing game where they repurpose a lot of the footage that they've already shown you in the parade.
Yeah.
So they really made the most of it.
That's true. They make you look at the parade again.
Well, that is Giant Balloon Parades Inc. just not wanting to leave money on the table because they haul out their amazing stable of balloons like the rhino and the parakeet, the toy soldier, the kangaroo. But hey, then they go back into storage for 11 months. Why don't we film all the balloons in storage? We'll get like a circus tent quality background. We'll paint it into like a castle or some garbage, and then we'll make a short out of it. That's Giant Balloon Parades Inc. That's why they become such a media juggernaut. It's that kind of outside the box thinking.
Yeah, that's why we're all watching their streaming service GBIC Plus now. They own the world.
They have So I mean, the whole Giant Balloon Land averse cinematic universe is it's a rich tapestry.
Yeah, Giant Balloon Parades Incorporated currently valued on the Dow Jones at over $900 million. So
they overtook Nvidia.
Yeah, exactly.
They're showing us.
Yeah.
Just wait till they embrace AI.
A computer generated balloon. Perfect.
The narrator could buy and sell each and every one of us and everyone we know. She is sitting in a pile of money so high.
Just thinking.
She's in a tank of vodka, like suspended like the Guild Navigator in Lynch's Dune. She is the drunkest woman alive.
That would have been a great balloon, by the way. Oh my God, the Guild Navigator from David Lynch's Dune should be a fun in Balloon Land parade.
Oh hell yeah, David Lynch's Dune parade.
I'm on board.
See, and once they have enough capital raised, it's on to phase 2. I'm going to make a balloon 40,000 miles in diameter. It'll be Balloon Earth, and we will all live there.
As I mentioned, this comes to us from Giant Balloon Parades Incorporated. This was an outfit that was founded in 1948 by Joseph Sonneborn Sr. and his wife Gladys. I guess Gladys was really into making these fucking balloons, so she turned it into a business. And the movie Fun in Balloon Land,
speaking of fetishes,
was directed by their son, Joseph M. Sonneborn. Now, I believe he passed away in 2014, so he's unfortunately he's not going to be able to hear us just ripping on his
he isn't here to defend himself.
Awful movie.
That's a shame. That means he probably, I think that's the same year the riff tracks came out, so he never probably had the opportunity to hear our filth smeared all over his filth.
Honestly, like the moment that you guys purchased the rights to it, he was like, "My soul is free," and he left his body.
Yeah, I can rest.
Yeah, and went into the balloon.
It's like a monkey's paw or something.
Yeah.
I hope so, because it has brought me a lot of joy along with a lot of dismay. I just love these things for some reason. But yeah, it is, and it, like you said, sorry. So it's a balloon company, right? Mm-hmm. And I think their business, the idea was they create these balloons, and then you can have your own parade in your town, right?
Right, and they did hire out their balloons for different parades. I assume mostly successfully because the company seems to have been around for a little while. There is a very funny article from an Akron, Ohio paper about 1973, the year that the balloon Thanksgiving parade just went completely wrong.
When that wasn't when balloons finally blew up.
God damn it, Tim.
Did it really happen?
They were the balloon parade people were 2 hours late for parades set up, and then everything was like kind of set up half-assedly, and a lot of balloons were sagging, and it just sounds like a very depressing event. all around. Only mildly more depressing than the actual successful parade, I have to say.
Yeah. if this-
So what we saw was the good version. Okay,
yeah.
all
This
right.
is what it's supposed to look like.
Yeah, and I know it's
This is the best one they were able to film.
yeah, and
Yeah.
I know it's easy to be like, to assume that people 50 or 60 years removed from us are like, oh, it was like a totally different time, and people like this dumb shit. It's wild to me that people would have enjoyed this. Like, it's not exactly the
I
Macy's
get like life
parade.
moves slower. Communities were smaller. There was less to do. So I guess you were like, oh, hey, that thing is painted more than 2 colors. You'd be like, oh my god, the kids at school are never gonna believe this.
Right, and like,
I saw a
It would be-
large thing.
Yeah, a novelty. I mean, I'm from a very small town, and I guess if I was a kid and there had been a parade like this, I would have gone to see it. I would have been like, that would have been notable. But I think just like, it's like you say, when you look at the audience in this film, they don't seem to be having a very good time either. I don't see a lot of cheering kids or excited people. I see a lot of bored
People standing out in the
folks
cold.
along the sidelines. Like, yeah, we came out because we thought this was going to be cool. I'm not. What is that? A turkey? Oh, sure, honey, the Marion turkey. We all know that beloved character.
that turkey just can't stop marrying people.
Yeah, I think it's exciting because if you look in the audience, this was an era when there was one haircut. Like every boy in there, like under his deerstalker, a crew cut. It's like everyone is like a copy of like Scott Fargus or something from Christmas.
Well, yeah, these were the times
and they're
when
all named Bill or John.
Yeah,
and these were the times when
Bill or
the
Jeff or
gender
Mark.
norms were very harshly reinforced. So there was like a boy haircut and a girl haircut, and I think the girl haircut at the time was like a little flip at the bottom, like Madeline Kahn and What's Up Doc kind of style.
Okay.
And it's funny because, like, you mentioned that, there isn't that, the audience isn't really too excited about this whole parade thing.
How excited can you get?
Balloons seem to get the same reaction as, like, the local high school marching band as they go by.
Yeah, because they are digging pretty deep with some of those folk fairy tale cuts.
Right.
Like even like the Owl and the Pussycat, you're kind of like, I'm aware that is something, but and again, it's like, maybe at the time people were like Owl and the Pussycat crazy, which is weird because I did do some digging into it, and apparently like Eric Idle's reading of that was like nominated for a Grammy in like 1968. Just like all right, more fool me. So I guess like
banger.
maybe people in 65 would be, people in 65 would be like, Sean, how do you not know about the Marion turkey? The like central cultural touchstone, the Marion turkey. The pig wig with the ring in his nose. Have you even left the house? Come on.
Right. You Philistine.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, like,
When they see the owl balloon, they're like, oh shit, the Pussycat's coming any second now.
Oh, wow, the boat's even green. They made a green boat.
it's Dynamite IP.
They did their homework. Dynamite.
Yeah,
IP.
like the and like I said, like some of them are sort of familiar. Like there's a frog footman that I think was from like Alice in Wonderland.
I will take your word for that.
Yeah.
Oh wow, I wonder. That's one of the first balloons that comes out, and I never knew what that was supposed to be.
Yeah,
They wanted to lead strong. They're like Footman Frog. I mean, most beloved.
that frog has got a well-turned ankle, I must say. And
Yeah.
then, like, I think like the crying walrus is also like a Lewis Carroll figure.
Yeah.
That's from the Seaside
Yeah.
story with the
Yeah, I only know that because I watched Kevin Smith's Dogma. That's the only reason I know about that story.
All of our references are
That's the scene with George
secondhand.
Carlin and the trucker, right? Yeah. Okay.
Right? Yeah.
Or maybe that was a different scene. Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm just trying to keep it filthy. I'm just trying to keep it.
Oh yeah.
I only get my culture secondhand. I'm like, if there aren't 3 guys from the Midwest like making fun of it, I don't know about
Just
it.
make more squeaking noises, Sean. That's what the people really want to hear.
Yeah.
Just keep being around.
yeah.
Yeah, so there is some like
so
familiar I love calling this shit IP. The intellectual property in the giant balloon parade. But it's all, and it's like a lot of the stuff in this overarching genre that I invented because, honestly, who else is going to do it? Nobody gives a shit. It's all like fairy tale stuff that is public domain.
Right.
Yes.
Like all of this is
It's the Disney model.
public domain ass shit. That's right. I think you've talked about this before, Tim, on the show.
Yeah, Disney is built on public domain IP, and then they sort of like reversed it into Disney brand.
Yeah,
IP.
and then they lock
So
that shit down,
it isn't.
and you can't
Right,
do anything
right.
with it for at least 75 years.
You cannot have a redheaded mermaid
Right.
without paying, the Walt Disney Company.
Yeah, their version of Alice in Wonderland becomes the official version of Alice in Wonderland, and if you have a Alice that looks anything like her, you will be destroyed.
Right? Yeah, pretty much. You'll be burst like one of so many balloons. But yeah, there's a parade of open source, public domain fairy tales.
Open source public
But then
domain.
they mix in some stuff that you've never heard of too, right? I mean, I think maybe that's an element of Mayhencore, it's a mixture, because when you talk about Santa, both of these films, I think a strong connection between this film and Santa and the Ice Cream Bunny is they both seem to largely be pack commercials for something else, right?
Right.
Like,
yes.
like there's a little bit of a story at the beginning of Fun in Balloon Land, but ultimately this is an advertisement for their balloon parade company.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they're going to try to sell it to you with a little bit of a story. And Santa and the Ice Cream Bunny, it was taking existing films Barry Mann had already made of Thumbelina and Jack and the Beanstalk and wrapping them around with a commercial for Pirates World, a kind of scuzzy theme park in Florida.
Yeah, well, all the standing water that you could ever want in a theme park.
Yeah, that was the main attraction.
Come to the mosquito petting zoo. Adopt your own larva.
That's right. Yes, you'll be itchy. We guarantee itchiness by 9 a.m. Full body itch by 10. It'll be in crevices you didn't know you possessed. But both of them. But the Ice Cream Bunny is another where did this come from character. Kind of like, to me, like the Marion Turkey or something. Like a lot of the stuff in these things, Thumbelina we know, Jack and the Beanstalk we know. But then they'll add, and I don't know, maybe this is a Mayhencore piece, just like there's some other thing. And you're like, is that a thing I should have known about? Did people know about that in the 1800s? Or did you just slap that in there to, I don't know, just to put your own stamp on it?
Well,
like,
yeah.
Yeah.
That's Mayhencore, where you know that he mixes his truth with lies.
Well, I think...
So sometimes you're like, yeah, of course, the griffin with the long snake tail. Everyone knows about that.
I think that because, the frame story of Santa and the Ice Cream Bunny is that Santa has gotten into a predicament which lacks its usual cheer, as we discover. His sleigh is stuck on the beach, so he's basically fucked. And he has to call like a bunch of children telepathically to help out, but they can't get his sled unstuck because it's not built for off-roading, so it's hopeless on sand.
Yeah, it's sand. It's coarse, it's rough, it gets everywhere.
Yeah, the lady from the Velvet Vampire is sleeping on top of it, and they don't want to disturb her.
True, yeah.
So, if Santa is in an untenable situation that he's not able to extricate himself from, obviously you're going to need a more powerful figure to act as the Deus Ex Machina.
And culturally, who is more powerful than...
And get him out of the uncheerful predicament. So, probably your mind goes to God or Jesus, maybe even the Holy Spirit, or all three. But that might be a little blasphemous. So, okay, well, we can't do the Christian God. And people in Miami, Florida in 1972 aren't going to know, about, Buddha or any of that stuff. So...
Right. Well, it is Christmas after all. So, I mean, you have to consider the season and what is, more associated with late winter than the rabbit.
Yes, an ice cream rabbit.
Yes, a frozen treat on the beach in Florida at Christmas.
Yeah, makes sense. Of course. And, we all know, what...
When you put it all together, it works. Trust me.
And we all read, Watership Down. We know what a powerful figure the rabbit is. So, a 6-foot tall rabbit that drives a fire engine, Like that rabbit
With, like-
has seen some shit. I mean, he's
He's definitely been he's been tested upon, just like the rabbits in Watership Down, for sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
he's been run through like a washer and dryer cycle a couple of times. I feel.
I'm
Yeah, but a washer that makes you dirtier instead of cleaner.
and I'm pretty sure that the ice cream bunny is like a Tom Bombadil figure, and that he's like just unimaginably ancient.
Well, yeah, he doesn't contribute to the story, but he's very important to the story. It's kind of it cuts both ways.
Yeah, you knew you'd get me with Lord of the Rings, a reference. Jen also did the logo for the Ringheads podcast that Bill Corbin and I did, and she's in the style of the Silmarillion. And yeah, he would fit in perfectly and that's why you're right. Santa is Gandalf. He calls to the more ancient and powerful being of Tom Bombadil or the Ice Cream Bunny to come in his screeching fire truck, narrowly avoiding running over small children on his way
And a dog.
to get the fat jolly man out of the sand. When we screened this, the moment where the Ice Cream Bunny first appears on the truck, and you hear the distant like air raid siren slowly get louder, is one of the times in my life I can remember actually being on the ground hysterically, like just shivering on. Like Mike Nelson is looking at me like they need to call the hospital
Because it all comes together.
Oh my God! The third act of Santa and the Ice Cream Bunny. What a payoff!
Yeah, a very well-structured film, I must say.
Yeah, it's like Aragorn leading the army of the dead.
And the best part about the appearance of the Ice Cream Bunny is that when he rolls up to Santa, Santa says, "The Ice Cream Bunny, of course. And it's like,
Yes.
Santa, do you know something we don't? Because who the fuck is this?
Listen, you rubes, get with it.
It's such a salesman technique. Of course. Yeah, kids, you should all know about this too. Just pretend like you do.
I mean, you know about the Marion turkey at least.
Well, it's funny that you say that because I noted watching Fun in Balloon Land again that at one point the drunken narrator does say, "The marrying turkey, who else?"
Sure.
That's a perfect mirror for the Ice Cream Bunny, of course. I mean, these things are really lining up eerily well.
Yeah, they had a formula and they stuck to it. If I can add some cultural relativism to that, it would be like if someone was listening to this podcast or whatever in 2050 or something, and being like, or watching like a Marvel Cinematic Universe movie, and being like, "Oh, look who it is, Agent Coulson, of course," and feeling like, "Who the hell's this guy?"
Oh, his girlfriend is a cellist in Portland, as I recall.
Right.
In the Avengers movie.
Oh, my favorite ship.
Very important lore, yes. Yeah. But we were speaking of the Marion.
Yes, also like a very powerful figure, much like the Ice Cream Bunny.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm trying to get at with the man core genre, of which Santa and the Ice Cream Bunny, like I said, is maybe the best exemplar. But these other films, I think, to me, kind of have the same feel. And if you were to ask me, like, well, Jen, what is the common factor with these movies? My first impulse is to say, like, this kind of just air of unutterable sadness around everything. But
Fair.
that is not that's maybe not the most concrete way to group these films together. So I did write down some characteristics.
Well, it's fun, but it's not fun.
Right. Well,
Makes
on
sense.
the most basic level, we have films which are all 60s or early 70s vintage, extremely low budget, derived from fairy tales or similar public domain material, aimed at children. They attempt a musical format, and they all display sub-community theater acting.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of like if someone was making like industrial training films but had airs of creativity.
Right.
Like, I want to be an artist, but it's like, just show guys how to work the lathe so they don't kill themselves.
But an important thing, I think, common to all the true man core films is an overall aura of almost total ineptitude, because these are all incredibly like amateurishly made films, such that they at times like barely display the qualities of like actual narrative filmmaking. And in fact, I might exclude because I looked at Magic Christmas Tree again earlier today, and I would almost exclude it from Mancore because it is a little bit too good.
It is more technically competent than
That's exactly it. Yeah, it's it's not well made, but it is made in a way that is like a narrative film, albeit an incredibly cheaply made one. They even attempt like a chase sequence.
It has like a wisp of competence to it.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing where I think maybe a way I'd characterize these things is like, imagine stumbling across this on television as a kid. Okay, so if you stumbled across the Magic Christmas Tree as a kid, you'd be like, all right, this is kind of a boring, weird, old thing, but it feels like a movie. It wouldn't unsettle you too much. But I think if you were a kid and you stumbled across Fun in Balloon Land or Santa and the Ice Cream Bunny just on regular ass TV, it would creep you out because you feel like you're not in safe hands. You feel like you're which I think child endangerment I think is also a theme in these films.
That's a really good point.
Yeah, it always feels like when it's rare you watch a kids movie where the kids in it don't seem comfortable. Like the kids in these things usually seem a little nervous, and Wizzo the Clown also, but that's not, I think that is a different type of thing because that was just a filmed clown special. But in all of these things, the kids sort of they're looking off camera. They're probably looking for their parents. They don't seem comfortable. The way that kids normally would in a kid's film.
I just think of the fight promoter from The Simpsons when Homer's boxing. He's like, I just need a body. That's the way they're casting the children in this.
Yeah, and in fact, I think there are only like one or two somewhat adept child or I guess minor performers that I can think of in these films off the top of my head. There is a girl who plays an elf that has actual dialogue at the beginning of Santa and the Ice Cream Bunny. I would like watching her performance. I was like, you know what? She's like the best in her little acting class, and she would actually be like good in like some local productions. And then there's the translator character in Wonderful Land of Oz, who is completely uncredited. Nobody actually knows this girl's name, but
it was the same actor who played Shoe Boogie in
yeah, not many people know that she did the music for Rotor as well.
Yeah, uncredited.
But yeah, she has a little bit more on the ball performance-wise. Nobody around her does at all. Neither the child performers or the adult performers, like just uniformly terrible acting.
There's probably a lineage too about, I would point to Lichen Colony as an example of, look, we just made the movie with the people who showed up.
100%.
Mistake!
These movies are very much not Hollywood, even though I believe the Magic Christmas Tree, which might not even count, Princess and the Magic Frog, and parts of the K. Gordon Murray Christmas shorts were shot in California. Nowhere near Hollywood. And the rest are kind of scattered like all over the United States. But like that does make a difference because it's also like our Fight Ring episode where it's like you're shooting in Connecticut and like what kind of a crew are you going to get together in Connecticut? Like it's not exactly Atlanta. It's not like a center of filmmaking like outside of Hollywood. That is in spite of the fact that Barry Mahan, among others, was part of like sort of a filmmaking scene in Miami at the time, but they made stuff like this.
Yeah. Was it? Well, I mean, if you look at his IMDb, it's a lot of skin flicks, isn't it? I mean, he wasn't Berryman making a lot of, maybe not exclusively that, but
It was to fund his true passion, which was the balloons.
it's like, listen, I'm going to work in porn and I'm going to work with little kids, and you're just going to have to deal with that.
Well, and I did a little bit of digging on Barry Mahan, who actually had like sort of an interesting life from what I can tell. Yes, he did make Nudie Cuties, but he gave an interview.
What a phrase!
It's what they is. He did give an interview to like a Florida paper, saying that basically there at the time, which was like the mid '60s or late '60s, that there wasn't a lot of money in like that particular brand of exploitation film anymore. I think with nudity becoming just on the cusp of becoming like more acceptable. Jane Mansfield appeared nude on the screen in the 60s, which was very shocking for the time. And I think with more quote unquote legitimate films like non-exploitation, those were kind of cutting into his market. And that was his explanation for why he went into children's films. And in fact, Santa and the Ice Cream Bunny was profitable, which is astonishing.
How could it
me.
not be? I mean, it's such a tried
Of course. Of course.
I mean, you don't have to be the Marion Turkey to see that.
I mean, profitable. Well, when something costs $45 to make, I guess it's not that hard to turn a profit.
Yeah, like
no.
Yeah.
I'm fascinated. I'd love to. I don't know what kind of distribution it had. I would love to know because it probably got toured around and shown, like, you know, they would probably drive around the reels and show it town to town, like that kind.
Well,
of
I think
deal,
I think the market at the time supported a demand for basically kiddie matinee films. And with mainstream movies becoming a little more adult in nature, like less sanitized, there was a demand for stuff that you could let the kids watch, or better yet, dump the kids at the local theater. You know, give them like
proud tradition,
10 cents or whatever.
Yeah, because kids will watch anything,
right? And
exactly.
You know, this was back at a time when you could basically sit in a theater all day and watch movies, which I think is how my mom and her friends saw Goldfinger 7 times back in 1964. But you know,
that was very much my dad's experience as a kid. Like,
yes.
Yeah, you just leave the kids at the theater all day.
Yeah, my dad grew up in Atlanta, Georgia, and he was like, the movie theater was the only place with air conditioning in the 50s. So, you know, you just go there and whatever was on, you just watch all day.
Yeah, it puts one in mind of the practice of channel surfing pre-streaming, where you basically just go through channels like looking for something to watch, and stuff just had to like hold your attention for a little while before you like move to the next channel. Like now with media so intensely targeted, like individualized and so plentiful, like it is a little bit of a lost art. Maybe like maybe a analog would be the YouTube algorithm and clicking from video to video, but I don't recommend that.
Right.
Yeah. Well, and even that is catering to you. Yeah, it is a lost thing. And I do think there was something to, and maybe it's just because of, you know, when I grew up and how I feel like the world should be, but there was something to just stumbling across stuff, like you're saying, whether it was music on the radio or a random channel you flip to and you're like, what's this old movie? What's this old TV show? And I think that's, as a kid, how I got interested in stuff from before my time, and stuff I never would have sought out if I was just typing into a machine and, you know, giving me back what I wanted. So I do think, there's something lost there. You would waste a lot of time and you would see a lot of crap that didn't register for you, but you'd also see crap that did register for you, like perhaps Fun in Balloon Land or Santa and the Ice Cream Bunny, that would burn into your memory, and 10 years later you'd be trying to convince your friends you saw this weird thing on TV with do you guys know the Ice Cream Bunny? No, I swear to God, I'm not making this up. You know.
Well, you got to put on kind of that salesman voice. You got to be like, "This Ice Cream Bunny, of course."
Of course.
Yeah.
And then they'll get it. But yeah, now you just Google it and you'd know. But I don't know where I'm just ranting now. But the algorithm sort of prevents you sometimes from tripping across weird shit that might interest you.
Yeah, but Jen, I believe there's an obvious counterpoint that you missed, which is, me as a case study of watching 16 hours a day of B-movie TV.
Right, yes.
I found many movies that did catch my interest, and many, many more by an order of magnitude which did not. But yeah, otherwise I wouldn't have watched so many movies, some which we even cover on the show because of this channel.
Yeah, and by the way, everyone prepare your 40s because we're about to pour one out for B-movie TV. The guy running it doesn't want to run it anymore, so it will be going away. And Tim will have to fill hours and hours of his day somehow, and he doesn't know how.
I don't know what I'm going to do with myself. I'm genuinely beside myself. Yeah.
Yeah, but
you'll have to find one of those channels that shows old game shows that haven't been on the air since the 50s or 60s. That's
right.
That's
like I don't know how this one ends. So
yeah, that's
well, what you just described is very similar to the Riff Track screening process for movies. Watching a lot of B movies that don't really register, and every now and then one that's like, oh, okay.
Oh, it's like the selection process for this show.
I want to know if anyone had a particular favorite balloon in the parade, because they do cover so much folklore.
We've talked about the Marion turkey a lot, so I guess it would be wrong to choose him. Although the Marion turkey, if I'm not mistaken, is wearing a graduation cap, like a scholar's cap. Like nothing about this character makes sense. Like how?
It's kind of like being married like a ship captain. I guess I don't know. Maybe if you're at a university, the professors can marry you. I'm not sure what the maritime law
going back to
is.
An Oxford tradition that the narrator knows.
Well,
about.
The flip side is if you're going to be married by a large flightless bird, you want him to at least be literate. Otherwise, what are you even doing?
That's true.
Yeah.
So you look for the turkey wearing a little mortarboard.
You don't want to be married by that bastard parakeet.
No.
Yeah,
he won't take it seriously.
Yeah, I know. You want an owl to marry you.
One of from the tiki hut at Disneyland, that sarcastic little freak.
Yeah.
God, I wonder how many people
have been married in the tiki hut at Disneyland. Probably
that's exactly what I was going to say.
Disproportionately.
I wonder how difficult it is to arrange with the park, or if they even let people do it. I'm sure. I was going to say I'm sure that some Disney adult will fill us in, but who am I kidding? Disney adults would not listen to our show.
Yeah, not a lot of overlap.
No, these movies we're talking about are like the dark inverse of a Disney movie. The photo negative of a Disney movie is what these things.
That's
are.
A really good
goatee
point.
Mirror universe.
Yeah, and going back to what Tim said, at the beginning of the episode, there is the aura of the dirty old roadside attraction to these movies, and and the Ice Cream Bunny, it's Pirates World in Florida. The K. Gordon Murray Christmas shorts, of course, have that God, it is the most depressing little Christmas themed Santa's Village.
But that was like you said, that was a real tourist trap you could go.
There was more than one. There were 2 in California and 1 in Illinois.
Bi-coastal. Wow, they were unstoppable at the time.
Yeah.
There's the action park. Yeah.
K. Gordon Murray's friggin' Walt Disney over here.
Ferocious Wolf and Stinky the Skunk and Merlin sending Santa Claus through the 5th dimension. This is all part of our culture now. Every child knows it.
Yeah, it's canonical. I cannot wait until the 5th dimension of Christmas, because that's only a few weeks away.
At the time, people...
Merlin's getting ready.
The 5th dimension Santa Claus travel theory was ascendant, but as we discovered in our Yes, Virginia, There Is a Santa Claus episode, Tim filled us in on how Santa uses quantum superpositioning to deliver toys to all the children across the globe.
Santa exists in all homes at all times, which is why you can't see him, because once you observe him, it collapses his waveform.
Yep.
And then
it's like like a Schrodinger Santa.
Yeah, basically. He could be anywhere.
He's inside all of us, literally, right?
He's probably watching you right now.
I for one was disappointed that the inflatable pig from the cover of Pink Floyd's Animals backed out of the parade at the last minute. Thought that's the only thing that was missing.
Maybe Roger
They
Waters
had the
saw
one with
this.
the ring in his nose, but they couldn't get that one.
Yeah.
Like Roger Waters,
disagreed with
like
the film politically.
making a long distance call to Philadelphia to like the giant balloon parade incorporated to like get a pig balloon.
Collect call from Mr. Floyd to Giant Balloon Parades Inc.
Yeah.
Oh, they keep hanging up.
This guy in England wants us to make him a big floating pig.
Yeah. Yeah. I just think too that like if this crowd had seen like a Chinese dragon parade, like their heads would have literally exploded.
Right.
Yeah.
It's true. It's like a good version of this existed and had existed for centuries.
We can be entertaining. We can set off firecrackers. We can bang a gong. Like the thing can move.
Yeah, it has a face. Its mouth might open and close.
Yeah.
It's like these balloons are incredibly immobile. Like I said at the beginning, like they're just sort of tottering on these dolly carts that clowns are pulling around, and they always look like they're about to fall over.
The clowns are probably like the most active part of it. And two, like I'm wondering who's paying these clowns. Like, is that prison labor? Like, did they like let him out on like a work visa? I don't know.
They get a pack of cigarettes every 4 hours.
I think-
Right, yeah.
for hauling these
I
things
read in one newspaper article about giant balloon parades incorporated that they often enlisted local boy and girl scouts to pull the balloons along the parade route.
Well, that's a long tradition. Like the Boy Scouts are usually the ones that are like scooping up like manure behind the like horse part of the parade.
Which has honestly always been my favorite part of the parade.
Right, yes.
When the people running with the pooper scooper behian the horse.
Yeah.
It's like, now this is funny. This is
Yeah.
entertaining.
It's the real people who make the parades work.
Horses are not house breakable. Let's put it that way.
No.
Yeah, I would
There's
not
none of
let a
them in
horse in the house.
No, I think that's a good policy.
Yeah.
But there are no horses in the balloon parade, unfortunately. No physical horses.
Right, just a
there
fat
are-
horse.
Yeah, again with the round body and the weird
It's
legs.
the horse from. I wish it was the horse from What's Opera, Doc.
It's kind of similar physique.
Oh yeah, that is a very similar physique.
Yeah,
actually.
a balloon-like
Yeah.
horse.
Like you don't see how the legs could even touch the ground with the way that its torso is.
Yeah, and I think like the crazy narrator lady who we've barely talked about from Fun in Balloon Land, she says it's a circus horse, which
Yes.
isn't really it's not really a fairy tale figure or like kind of like a known cultural figure, but she does say at one point, haven't you ever heard the saying all dressed up like a circus horse?
Of course.
Yeah, of course.
Right.
Exactly. It's the salesmanship. I'm glad you mentioned. I actually typed out this little stretch of narration from her. If you don't mind.
Please.
I'll perform it
Yeah,
briefly.
verbatim.
The parade narrator. And again, I'm thinking with the people. A big part of what makes this movie so watchable, in as much as it is watchable, is the parade narrator lady getting increasingly shit-faced. As it goes on, and just like slurring her speech and getting words wrong, and clearly just improvising a lot of it. And when you met the people at the parade are not hearing that. They're not getting the stories from this drunk lady. It's even worse for them. They're just watching
Passing in silence.
balloons go by. But yeah, she a little bit before this, she's starting to slur more. At one point, she says, "You may slay any dragon you wish to stray." She meant to say slay again, I think, but she said stray. That was about some St. George, perhaps. But the circus horse that Jen mentioned. What a plump horse, all dressed up for the circus. I'm sure he could do 100 tricks. He's doing one now. Yes, he's kneeling on one leg. That's very difficult for a horse. Yes, and I see 3 lovely plumes in his hair. Have you ever heard the expression, all dressed up like a circus horse? Oh, well, it's all right for a circus horse. I'm sure it's a compliment for him.
Did I ever tell you how much I love you guys? I don't know if you can really tell me about this horse.
For him, it's a compliment. Oh, he likes it. He's a circus horse. He likes it.
Yeah, and
I must see myself out. A bunch of reprobates in this parade.
the thing is, she's
My check didn't clear.
she's so hammered that I think she kind of starts hitting on some of the balloons.
Yes. That's right. She talks about one being kind of tall and she'd like it to protect her.
Right, yeah, and then
Yeah.
the teddy bear that she wants to take home and squeeze.
He's. I think you would need about 5 of her teddy bears to make that teddy bear. That's her appraisal. She's like, yeah, about five times my teddy bears.
Kind of an interesting thing
I
about
appreciate her, accuracy.
kind of a funny thing about these balloons is that I mean, yeah, like apparently they were pulled by children, like, like I said, Boys and Girl Scouts, but these things look like really heavy, and they're
Yeah.
not like Macy's parade balloons. Like, they don't float. Like,
Right.
I think they're just literally just filled with air. So
Yeah.
they're just kind of these like big, weird looking heavy things just like rolling along the parade route, like not floating. But
Yeah, this company didn't have helium money. They just
Yeah.
had air money.
that's a good point. Like, I literally, I have no frame of reference for what it would cost to like rent helium. you
Honey,
only
if you
rent
have to ask,
helium.
you can't afford it.
There was a shortage a few years ago, I remember, of helium. There was actually like an issue. They had to stop selling those kind of balloons. But I bet when this parade was advertised in the 60s and people were deciding whether or not to go, they probably assumed they were going to get something like the Macy's parade where the balloons actually float and are off the ground. I hadn't really thought about what you're saying. Yeah, these are just sort of rolling.
Yeah.
They're on
Yeah.
a cart being pushed around.
A lot of
Heavy
innocents
canvas.
died that day.
Yeah.
It's not even, or something maybe like the Albuquerque Balloon Festival that they have every year. Those balloons go up in the air.
Is that
Yeah.
like a hot air balloon festival?
They
right?
every year there's a huge
Yeah.
hot air balloon festival.
Yeah, because when you think of a balloon, you picture one like on a string, like bobbing in the air, not dragging on the ground.
Right, it is one of the key elements of a balloon when
Right,
you really
yeah.
think of it. That it ought not be on the ground.
What a fun time I mean, it really does drag figuratively and literally.
I was going to say perhaps that is why the filmmaking does not soar, because man, this is it really is like vacation footage. Like, and I know we've all had
Yeah.
that experience where you're hanging out with a friend who's just come back from a trip and they have to show you every single photo that they took on the trip. Sometimes multiples of one shot, because God forbid you miss a single pixel.
Oh, this one's blurry. Let me keep swiping.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, this was our guide. Oh, he was so funny. He paused to take a picture with us. Yeah, Dad's the one taking the picture. Like, okay, we got to picture some random asshole forever. That's great.
Yeah, I'm glad to know this.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's not as bad as relating one's dream to someone else, but it's like kind of like a similar thing where I was like, well, I'm glad you had fun on your trip, because like this is, I'm glad you saw the Mall of America, but whatever. And that's how this movie feels, and like quite a lot of the K. Gordon Murray Christmas shorts have like a similar feel, like when they take a little tour around the theme park. And I assume that this was partially intended to get people to come to the Santa themed village.
Yeah.
And it is just the
see
saddest
the mosquito breeding pond.
Yeah, and it is just the saddest shit you have ever seen. Like,
Right. It's the opposite of a commercial.
yeah, and like
It's more of a warning.
like in Santa and the Ice Cream Bunny, Pirates World, like they show the protagonist of Thumbelina like walking around the park, and these exhibits are shit.
Oh my god, are they shit? Yeah, no. It's like like you said early on, sub community theater, well below that. The costumes, the little dioramas she's looking at, the rides at Pirates World, which all look incredibly unsafe.
Yes, that's what I love.
They can't make it look good.
What I love about the kind of the kickoff to the Thumbelina segment of Santa and the Ice Cream Bunny is that it shows the girl who also plays Thumbelina like looking at these dioramas, which we don't see and which are presented with less flair than like a middle school science fair. Like, it feels like you're looking at the backs of all the displays and you're like, well, I'm sure that what she's looking at is interesting. It would be cool if I could see it, but, you know, I'm just gonna...
Also, narratively, it is kind of like Inception. I think, like Bill points that out, where it is Santa telling the story of the woman watching the dioramas, who then hears about Thumbelina.
Yeah, I think we made a lot of hay out of that. Like, and then the tinny speaker in the upper left corner of the room began telling a tale. Again, I'm Santa. There's a gorilla next to me, and I'm talking to a bunch of people.
Yeah, like the commitment to diegetic sound is really interesting. It's like we really need the narration for this segment to sound like it's coming out of this low watt speaker at a shitty theme park. Yeah. It's like it's a choice.
Oh, you've never been entertained by a PA before?
And like you said earlier, Jen, like this guy actually did make some movies, and it's incredible how inept everything is. Like the sound is always terrible. Nobody seems to be mic'd. It's just echoing around in a room. And another thing I noticed with these Mayan movies, including, we haven't talked about it much yet, but The Wonderful Land of Oz, which you mentioned earlier, and I know is a favorite of yours.
Yeah.
It's that almost anytime you see people, you see like 5 shadows on the wall of the same person because they have 5 different light sources. Like, it's another characteristic of his films is not knowing how to light anything. And it's just like, how did you not even pick that up? How did you...
I feel like Balloon Land has like one light in the scenes.
Yeah.
Like, in the warehouse scenes?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, like one big light.
Shadows just random.
Blasting out into the warehouse. And it's like, what? It's lit. Like, what is 3-point light?
You can see everything, can't you?
Yeah.
And no, you can't. A lot of times they talk about things that are not on screen. Like for example, during the parade, there's a whole section where she's talking about the Humpty Dumpty balloon. It never makes it on camera. You never actually see Humpty Dumpty. You see the seesaw that he's sitting on. There's children on the other end of it, but you never actually see Humpty Dumpty.
They never cleared the rights. Yeah.
He was still under ownership of Mother Goose at that time, and they were very litigious.
Just we don't even want to attempt it. Just like talk about him, just see him off.
Mother
screen,
Goose, known vexatious litigator.
Oh yeah, well she's a Canadian, so yeah, you don't want to fuck with them.
They're dangerous.
Now,
right?
The sound design. I'm putting big quotes around that phrase because it is true. This isn't even like just barely acceptable filmmaking. It's like, oh, you really like don't know what actually goes into making a movie, which is wild because Barry Mann in particular had been at this for a long time. His filmography goes all the way back to the 50s. And here's a Mystery Science Theater connection. He made an hysterical anti-communist nuclear scare film called Rocket Attack USA, which was riffed on one of the Joel episodes. In fact, the first episode that had a stinger, it's a blind guy just walking down the street and suddenly saying, "Help me." So this movie's all kinds of historical.
Perfect.
And Mann, in fact, was involved in movies even earlier than that because he was actually Errol Flynn's private pilot and manager for a while. I think in his post-Hollywood decline, when his female companions were getting younger and younger. I believe Mann was director on...
His proofs were getting higher and higher.
Right.
And that's right when Barry Mann showed
up.
Oh,
yeah! And...
Did you say something about girls getting younger?
Yeah, and it does...
I'm the man for the job.
It does give one pause, like knowing that, you know, Mann was making these like, kind of like softcore exploitation films, and like, oh yeah, and he also...
Hey girl, you want to meet Errol Flynn?
Yeah, also palling around with Errol Flynn, a man who at one point notoriously went on trial for statutory rape. He was acquitted because sexual assault is a incredibly difficult crime to prove, but yeah, he did have a predilection. Mann was director on a movie called Cuban Rebel Girls, which is actually like a pro-Castro film, which is kind of sick. Errol Flynn was...
the sort of yin and yang to Red Zone Cuba.
Yeah, Errol Flynn actually supported the revolution in Cuba. So I guess the guy wasn't all bad, apart from being a statutory rapist, allegedly. Um, but so,
He allegedly wasn't all bad.
right. But the
Right.
point that I'm getting at is that
Wait.
Mann had been making films for a while, but he was one of those remarkable creatives that, and Tim and I talk about this a lot, those very special people who plug away at a creative endeavor for years and years and years. And whereas most normal people would get at least a little better at their
Or give
chosen
up.
craft, these people actively get worse.
Yeah, there's like a spark, and then they just kind of go through the motions afterwards. Like whatever really, like they got to remember like what got them excited about filming sad balloon parades. Remember that.
Right, because it's like it must be a decline in enthusiasm, right? It must be just that you're not, because when you can see that they were better before, and if anything they've gotten worse. It's what causes that? Is it
Right.
a lack of care? Is it a mental decline due to alcoholism? Is it?
I mean, did they have all their hopes pinned on the ice cream bunny, and then it just didn't pan out?
Did you
The
party a
spark
little
went
too
out.
hard with Errol Flynn in the 50s?
In Cuba with a bunch of women of questionable age.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. And I think God, I'm trying to think of an example of this kind of filmmaker, but I think James Nguyen might be one of those because as his films go on, they got appreciably worse. He's made more than one.
Well, it was
Birdemic
just a
film.
factory system at that point. Just churning these out, give the people what they want.
Right. I think you get your best out of these people when they still believe that, and by these people, I mean directors of this kind of movies we're talking about.
Yeah.
Like when they're still like, James Wan legitimately thought he was going to be the next Hitchcock at some point. Like he really sincerely felt that. And I think maybe you get the peak work out of these guys when they still can kind of believe that before they've put enough out into the world and gotten enough response to sort of be like, well, okay, I'm not going to be Hitchcock. I guess I'm a guy who makes not so good movies that people make fun of. So I guess I'll do that. And maybe you just stop trying as hard. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, that is. I think it's sort of like, to crib a line from The Devil's Advocate, like free will is kind of like butterfly wings. You can't let the director know that they suck. Like you have to kind of like shine them on the whole time. I think it's something that like Mike had pointed out, which is like when directors start to lean into it, that's when you get stuff like Sharknado, where like it isn't genuine. It has to be like a director who believes in what they're doing and thinks that they're making like the best quality movie that they can. It's when they kind of like wink at the audience, like, hey, isn't this movie terrible? It's like, no, we're here to like watch you like genuinely work at your best and fall flat on your face. Like that's the whole.
It's much more interesting that way,
Right.
obviously.
Yeah, that's what makes it work, because it's kind of sort of, and again, like I'm just cribbing more stuff from Mike, but it is like trying to like remove the author's voice in these, and I think that's kind of what comes through a lot, like in James Wen's work, whatever. Well, James Wen's chores,
whatever the hell he does all day.
It's work to watch him.
Yeah, heyo. Where he's just like all of the like subconscious anxieties of the director are shown in the movie, and it's like you didn't really mean to say this, but you're saying it anyway. Like we're all hearing what you don't mean to reveal about yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what you dig into, and that's the fun part. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, totally.
Like, what are you revealing about yourself? Yeah. Or it's like, well, I mean, obviously, the most famous of all time, Ed Wood.
Right.
He's like, oh, you didn't. What did you think of my picture? Oh, the worst thing you ever seen? Well, wait till you see the next one. It's that attitude of just like, and I admire that, honestly, as someone who I do doubt myself a lot and, question myself in every little thing I do all the time. And then you see these people with just the incredible confidence to just make something barely watchable and believe, no, I need to keep going. I need to keep doing more of this.
Yeah.
I'm going to
keep better.
Yeah. Yeah. The people will get it next time.
Yeah. And that's how you get Santa and the Ice Cream Bunny.
Blind faith.
Yeah, or
Uh,
its immediate predecessor, The Wonderful Land of Oz,
Yes.
which is a delightful work.
yeah, just a hair's breadth below the original Wizard of Oz.
You know, I
A mere
ask
second.
people which one's your favorite, Wizard of Oz or Wonderful Land of Oz? It's usually a 50-50 split.
Right? Yeah.
Just as many people
Yeah,
love
they
it.
both have incredible sets, great songs, like memorable performances of beloved characters like the
Beautiful
Wogglebug.
cinematography.
The Wogglebug, the horrible cow at the beginning in the kid's barn.
Yeah.
Just so many
The
waking nightmares.
paper mache
You know,
cow.
and
yeah.
the paper mache cow from Wonderful Land of Oz is kind of like the balloons in Fun in Balloon Land, in that it's like you appreciate the time and effort that must have gone into it, but cultural tastes have shifted so much that it looks horrifying.
Yes.
All of those characters in the Fun in Balloon Land parade are kind of horrible to look at.
They're not cute. Yeah.
The leopard balloon is kind of cool.
The which? Oh, the leopard. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's something like if you
Yeah.
see something on like Cake Boss or something, where like, oh, that's a great looking cake. I bet I could try my hand at that.
Sure.
It's that same sort of like lack of self awareness.
Yeah.
And then you just get this monstrosity.
Yeah, and the cow from Wonderful Land of Oz is like, oh damn, like that's really an elaborate puppet with like a moving mouth and like, you know, eyes that blink and everything, and it is terrifying.
Right. If you made it for a horror movie, it would be kind of an amazing accomplishment.
Yeah, it'd be perfect.
But yeah, it's like when a kid hands their parent a homemade present, and you're like, "Well, I can tell you worked really hard on this."
You got poster paint in most of the right places.
Right, you spent a lot of time on this, and that means something.
Right.
So
The-
thank you.
The dry grass is a nice touch.
He really tried.
Yeah. And
But yeah, it's the fact that he had a background like you're saying is incredible when there's so much just basic filmmaking ineptitude. But at the same time, with Wonderful Land of Oz, there was some effort went into it, right? More than some of these.
Yeah.
In terms of they made a cow, they have some costumes, they sort of have some sets.
yeah, in that case
Yeah.
I would probably give the most praise to the I almost said production designer. Whoever the fuck made those sets, like those are okay for like, you know, local kiddie theater.
Like a regional haunted house or
Yes.
something.
They
Yeah,
look like
right.
absolute
Like the fire department sponsored
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
they look like absolute shit on film, but you know, if you were putting together like a little like theater production of a L. Frank Baum story, then this would be okay. The costumes, they aren't bad, except the fucking Wogglebug. Like I see that thing in my nightmares.
oh
Jesus
my
Christ.
That thing, looking at it again, I was like, he looks kind of like I can't remember the name of this Star Wars alien, but the guy with the flaps on his face who hangs out with Admiral Akbar.
Lean
it's
Nub?
kinda like, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
It's like the dead black eyes and the like weird flaps on the
Yeah.
side of his face. It's kind of where Wobblebug is at.
Yeah, and the interesting thing about Wonderful Land of Oz is it is actually like a fairly faithful adaptation of the source material. There were about a bajillion Oz books. This one was The Marvelous Land of Oz. I have no idea why it was retitled, and I don't really care. There,
Oh, Disney and Marvel, they just sued them. Like, you gotta name it. You can't call them Marvel kids.
take that, Barry Mann. But anyway, it's a pretty faithful adaptation of the original story, and there are a couple of reasons why I want to call it out specifically. This movie is very special to me, not only because like the riff of it is very good, hat tip riff tracks, but there are a couple of things about it that are pretty interesting. The first thing is that you learn in Wonderful Land of Oz that there is a canonically trans character, which is Ozma. The main character in Wonderful Land of Oz is played by Barry Mann's son. This poor child plays Tip, the main character. Tip is actually Ozma of Oz, the rightful heir to the throne of Oz. Oh, by the way, Ozma was a girl, but she was enchanted to be a boy by Mombi the Witch, and has to
Oh, indoctrinated. I get it.
And yes,
Yeah.
forced to live as a
Shame.
boy by Mombi the Witch, and then is obliged to transition back to take her rightful place on the throne of Oz. Now, of course, this was not intended as a trans narrative either in the source material or the Barry Mann adaptation, but it is fucking wild to see watching it today.
Yeah.
And somebody please do like a deep, like, trans reading of Wonderful Land of Oz. I tag Bitter Corella. Anyway, the other thing I love about Wonderful Land of Oz is the character of General Ginger, who basically enlists a bunch of girls to do an attempted January 6th on the Emerald City.
Right, which tracks because the more you learn about Ginger, she's lazy, dumb, and has no aptitude for governance. So I'm like, yeah, no, that fits.
Yeah. She is she's probably working for the Trump administration as we speak.
Yeah, she's a cheerleader for them.
But yeah.
She's in the Department of War.
I do like the new uniforms, though. I gotta say,
Well, he would like the uniforms.
Right.
Her army of girls in '60s mini skirts.
Yeah, go boots.
I really hope that Barry Mann was respectful to them, but anyway, I'm not going to speculate. But yeah, like I love this character.
I think it's good to hope is all I would
Right,
say.
yeah.
It's good to
Exactly.
hope.
I wonder if they were in any of their Barry Mann's other movies.
Well, it's funny you asked that. I saw that there has apparently been a lot of speculation that they came from his other movies, but that was actually debunked by something I saw online. So
Oh, wow.
hopefully
God.
they were not actually in
Big
his
is
other
true.
films.
Clothes were kept on. But yes, I love the character of General Ginger. She is exactly like me. She makes hasty decisions. She's incredibly lazy. Basically a total arrogant, good for nothing, and I love her. She's the best.
Yeah, she's a spirit animal.
She does add a lot of fun to the movie. When she shows up, it gets a lot more interesting.
Yeah. One of the more enthusiastic performers in the movie, like, and I can't even rank the performers in the movie because they're all uniformly terrible, but there's something about her brio as this incredibly stupid and arrogant character that I just love.
Yeah, she's great, and crazy. This is very much just a me side diversion thing. Watching it again earlier today, I realized. So L. Frank Baum, I haven't read many of the Oz books, but he was a huge influence on one of my favorite authors, Gene Wolfe, who in his series Book of the Long Sun, which I've read in the last couple of years, so I had not seen Wonderful Land of Oz before, and I'm realizing there's an army very similar to General Ginger's in that series, I don't know, and I was like, he had to be taking this from the book. I doubt that Gene Wolfe ever saw this film. Anyway, if anybody out there has read Book of the Long Sun by Gene Wolfe, please back me, which no one has. Please back me up that General Ginger and her army is definitely the inspiration for something he did.
Gene Wolfe, if you're listening, write in info@haveyouseen.us. Now, we have talked exhaustively about what I have now christened as the genre of mayhencore. These incredibly depressing, unlovely children's films, mostly embodied by the topic film Fun in Balloon Land. Maybe the most depressing parade you could ever watch, and like that's a high bar. But I want to ask the two of you, do you think that we have truly anointed this new genre of mayhencore? Like, did we encapsulate it well enough, or is there anything else that we want to see about this particular subgenre?
I think that anytime that you see a bored 10-year-old boy with a crew cut, that's mancore. Anytime you see a theme park that looks like you'll get tetanus by visiting, that's mancore. Anytime you see like a suburban neighborhood with like zero charm or atmosphere, that's mancore.
I love that because you kind of had a similar cadence to Henry Fonda and the Grapes of Wrath. Yeah, wherever there's a guy beating up a guy, I'll be there. Wherever there's a bored kid with a crew cut. You got Mancore.
There's someone in a dead-eyed animal costume with its jaw isn't properly attached. That's Mancore.
There's a drunken single woman with a microphone that they can't wrestle away from her.
Everything seems vaguely damp.
Yeah, these movies all uniformly smell like mildew and vinegar.
Right, yeah.
You can feel it with your eyeballs.
Yeah, they're just like a friendly puppet that you don't want to be alone with.
But yeah, that's part of the sick appeal. Is like it's for kids, but kids shouldn't see it.
Right.
That's what draws me in a fucked up way to these things, and maybe it says something about my childhood. But it's just like, yeah, there is something dark and messed up and there's something dark and messed up about the popular versions, the Disney versions, and all of that too. It's all there, but it's harder to see. But what these films do is expose the dark underbelly inherent in all fairy tale and children entertainment. And there's something wrong, and there's something seedy about all.
That's true, because I think it's sort of baked into the material, because like if you go back and look at the original, for example, Grimm's fairy tales, holy shit. Like that's some Lars von Trier-ass shit.
Cautionary tales. Yeah.
Well, or, Struel Peter or stuff
well,
like that.
maybe it just like fits into like what I was saying earlier about like, it's sort of the like author's voice coming through inadvertently, where this is really tipping its hand to like the darkness inside of it, because it isn't polished enough to be able to hide that, where it just comes through and you're like, this is just greasy and off-putting, and you just like, I don't feel safe, and I know that this is for children, but I don't feel like any child should be exposed to this. Speaking of Disney, though, I don't know if the filmmakers had any intention of tying this to the just a deep cut, the as featured in Merlin's Shop / The Devil's Gift, the Iwerks cartoon Balloon Land.
Oh, Jesus
That's a whole
Christ.
other dark thing.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow. Yeah, wow.
Ooh.
Probably not based on it at all.
That shit's terrifying as well.
Animator,
yeah. Yeah, because apparently, like, Ub was just doing, like, crazy, like, violent, like, just, like, cartoonish violence. Where he's like, I want to push this further.
Well, yeah, or,
he
like...
was, like, sort of, like, doing Ren and Stimpy era stuff.
Yeah, or, like, skeleton body horror.
Right, yeah. Truly a visionary.
Yeah, like that, when at the end of the skeleton dance, when all the skeletons, like, merge together into, like, a skeletal human centipede, and they go galloping toward their graves, like, that is, like, my hat is off to old Iwerks, because that's horrifying.
Yeah.
Pure nightmare fuel. Yeah.
But yeah, like...
So maybe in that way, like, the spirit of the original Grimm's fairy tales does live on in, in movies by, Berryman and Giant Balloon Parades, Inc.
the auteurs behind
Yes.
Berryman Films and Giant Balloon Parades, Inc.
Yeah.
The Sonneborns.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Man, and I have like so much more trivia, but we've already run long. Sean, is there anything that you would like to plug, or perhaps a social media account at which one might want to follow you?
Oh gosh, well, social media wise, I'm pretty much just on Blue Sky now. Sean Thomason. Let's see, stuff. Riff Tracks is that we're always putting out new wonders. Not all of them as quite as wonderful as Fun in Balloon Land, but let's see, what do we have coming up? We have a great one actually coming out called Champagne and Bullets.
Oh my God! You guys did Getaven?
Yes. Oh, you know it.
Yes.
You know what? I guess. Yeah. I think This is brand new information, guys. I think we're putting. It's coming out soon. Yeah. Getaven, as it's also written. Get even is one word.
Getaven.
And it's another one of these. It's a guy named John DeHart. And these are the best of the best kind of movie, where he wrote, directed, and stars in it. And
Yes.
he has himself as the action hero. Wings Hauser is his sidekick.
Tim, that's the one I showed you clips from where Wings Hauser is trashed.
Wings House. Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah. He's at least as drunk as the parade narrator in Fun in Balloon Land. And he's playing a drunk guy, and he leans into it hard.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I'm going method. Hey, Mrs. Patchpocket.
Mrs. Patchpockets does show up in Champagne and Bullets. Very strange crossover event.
Well, she's such a beloved character.
I know I am looking forward to watching Champagne and Bullets, aka Getavin, on Riff Track. So definitely look for that. All of the movies that we have discussed were riffed by Sean and these other fine gentlemen, and those are way more painless ways to experience these films. A lot of them you can find loose on Tubi or YouTube or other places, but yeah, big Mr. Yuck sticker on those because they're painful.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, like you said, it's less painful with us, but there's still some pain involved. You're not getting out through one of these without a little bit of punishment, no matter how many jokes we add to it. But I am, as I said before, delighted that we can help surface these things.
Yes.
I like the term turf surface, so much as certain things surface in the toilet bowl. But but even with all the mocking and everything, I do have a lot of affection for this outsider art, whatever you want to call it. The stuff that part of why I like all this stuff is, we've all seen so many conventional movies that when you watch most movies, you kind of know you're not going to be too surprised. But when you watch stuff like this, whether it's The Wonderful Land of Oz or Champagne and Bullets or whatever, you can be quite surprised.
Oh, yes.
Things will happen that are not supposed to happen in a movie, and they will work the way that movies are not supposed to work. And I do have a lot of appreciation for people who, for whatever reason, took the time and the energy to try to make something with, even if it had spectacularly awful results, because we all get to enjoy it now.
Amen.
Yeah, that is a Reddit silver kind of moment. It's the you tried emoji.
And half the reason why we even have a podcast.
It's a sickness we all share.
True.
Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, you can show your support by going to patreon.com/haveyouseenthis and make a pledge at the $2 or $5 tier. $5 a month gets the latest episode before everyone else, plus access to our Discord, where we're always arguing about movies. If you'd like to give us a tip, our Ko-Fi link is in the show notes.
I just wanted to paraphrase that the lady narrating, it's like her task is trying to sell every piece of junk in a Goodwill. just watching the parades roll by. Oh, here's a sock, and there's a pig. Look at how jolly it is.
Here's a juice glass. It's only kind of broken.
Yeah, a video cassette recorder. Does it have a tape inside? It might.